Welcome to the third match of the third week of the 28th Grand Arena season, and I'm playing gegen Amy. Not sure how to spell the name, so sorry if I just butchered that. They are from Core Patrol, and at the moment when I attacked, they already attacked and had essentially two fails, and stopped attacking. So I thought, why not just starting myself, and we're looking here at the defenses and see quite an interesting board at the south, quite heavy. So I started with some Dicy matches, especially with this one, because last time it failed. I think so far I'm 2 out of 3 battles on winning, so 1 I lost. And so I thought, let's try this again. And here everything goes kind of well. So Wampa counters in the right moments. So Starkiller already has 17 dots, so he's about to be on the verge of death, but more dots are better, of course. And here it's getting a little bit dicey again, but the counters heal Wampa up, so it's not a problem. Here I decided to go for basic to kill Pulp, so less possibilities for Starkiller to charge his ult, and there he's still close to his ult, but at the next turn he would die anyway because of the dots, what just happened. And so it was a little bit of dicey counter, but was okay. A good start into the match with 68. And so the next battle I took was against GAC. It was R9 GAC, R9 5s. And so I wanted to see if CLS can also do something against such high number or such high relics. And this time I tried to play a little bit more carefully, so focusing less on getting too many attacks out, but just like keeping the defensive stance of CLS so that his high tenacity doesn't get like cooldown increased and all that kind of stuff. And again, I essentially just ignore 5s and go for Rex, because ideally you can stun him when sacrifice is triggered and just kill him then again because of all the explosives you have. And as you can see, it works kind of nice, and so it's 3 versus 1 again. But Gas himself also is a menace and has to be dealt with. So I was preparing to lose at least one of my characters. But eventually I got lucky, got a stun, then tried to regain some protection, but it wasn't enough, of course, and got 54 banners, which was okay. I also changed up some things in my defense, took C on offense this round, because I guess he was just always like soloed by Wampa, even though it was an anti-Wampa comp, but not a full anti-Wampa comp, which could be overcome by Wampa eventually. So I guess that happened to my last opponents, and so I took him on offense this round, which was great, because there was JML, and at the moment I don't really have an off-meta counter for JML. I mean, I have one, but use it in other places as well, so I'm happy if I don't have to use it. And so this time I just played it safe, used C and Watt, because usually I also don't have really a place for Watt and Freeze, except with Maul, for instance. Or you could use it with Crew and OG Kylo, but Crew is like better with other characters at the moment, like Lord Vader on defense, or what's his name, TIE Fighter, the first order one with the Omicron, if you have it. And so this battle is straightforward. I used a tank because my C is just R8, and sometimes R9 can get dicey if JML is R9. Versus this Darth Revan comp, I used the counter I use most days, these days, which is Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron. I could have used Wampa here as well, but I felt versus Starkiller was a better return of investment, so to say. Weird term. Anyway, so cleaned this up. 51 banners, just a one-shot set was all I wanted, because my opponent had 2 fails, and I thought if it comes from a defense, if I one-shot everything, it's fine. So I was not looking so much to pinch banners, but just to get through the defensives. And here we have Slicker with the Night Sisters. I faced that one before, I think in the first week, or was it the second week? I'm not quite sure anymore. But back then I used solo Lord Vader, and doing it again. It's I think it's an okay counter. It can get dicey if things don't line up and you kind of allow Kylo to charge his ultimate too often, so to say. So you want to get the Night Sisters out of the way, which happens eventually because of dots or when Lord Vader kills Darker when he's in his own ultimate. But before you charge your ultimate, it takes a while because, you know, you just like have one hit target for them to charge your ultimate on, and you also, because you're soloing and just like not many characters, your own stacks don't really build up that easily. So just 28, and so in this case, or at this point in time, and so it just takes a while to charge your ult. But once it's there, it's nice. It helps. So Darka died. She was gone for good, and now Zombie was gone, and now it's 1 versus 1, which feels a bit like a slappy fight in a way. But again, it can get dicey. But having a lot of protection on Lord Vader, or like a lot of hit points, kind of helps in this case. Also, it helps if the offense on Kylo isn't that high overall, because when he stacks, you know, then it goes through the roof, and so it helps when that's not the case. But eventually, like, I got to I think it's the second ult, I'm close to it, but I think I finished, oh no, here I got to the second ult, so used it, and from there on it's almost game over for Kylo. But here, like you see when he pokes, you get into like yellow, so if the fight goes longer, Kylo would have the upper hand, I guess. But it didn't, so good for me. And this is the back wall. So no chill in the back wall. I think the toughest team was Iden, and so I faced on the north wall to basically get access to ships. Here's a Qui-Gon Jinn team with the Omicron and no cam this time. Feels less threatening in a way, but it's still a very good team. So trying to keep Anakin under control, under stun, as you can see, and then just go for Qui-Gon. Then hoping that the too explosive damage will kill Anakin, which didn't happen, so our friend Tech has to finish him off. Then of course Ayla is still very strong because of the offense she got from Qui-Gon. Almost took out Hunter, but eventually didn't happen. So, but still only 55 banners. But good counter. Then we had this interesting team. I wasn't really sure what the idea was. I think maybe the idea was that Aura can stun, so that you basically have a stun, and then Nest can go out on all the people that are stunned. At least that, I guess, was the idea behind this team. But still, like, if Aura is fast, you can get her fast. You can get, what's her face, Sam kind of fast, then it's still annoying. You know, you have these bombs, you have stun, and then there's Ness as well. So was still good to take it out, and got 56 banners. So it's still some banners, but overall not too hard of a counter. Then we are in the territory of overkilling things. So here it's again some trooper food because the Mormorph is just it's too slow for the troopers, and in that case, and so it's just like easy 57 banners, but still troopers are always like a high investment for anything essentially. Then another team, I could have used troopers here, but I felt comfortable with using JTR and the bros because I used it in the past as well, so I felt quite good. Thought I should take out the Seven Sister first because she heals and has ability blocks and dazes and that kind of stuff, and that's something you don't want to have on your team or applied to any of your characters. And so I thought take her out first, then go for a Knife Sister because why not, and then go for a fifth brother. I'm still like not sure what to think about those purge stuff. It sounds threatening, but it really isn't somehow. Like, at least not on Jedi. On Jedi might be a different story, but anything else, it feels like, okay, there is a debuff. So what you gonna do now? So nothing, as it seems. So 55 banners. Then versus Shaq, which I think was in the back wall. I took in this team, used Mace, trying to get some protection back, but because that he grants, or he at least grants the option when you use Pubmed to get protection back. But yeah, for that you have to play well and not just like, yeah, I know this is a good counter, I just go in and see what happens. I don't fear I'm losing, but I also don't want to pinch banners, and so I don't care that much about gaining protection back. And this is what you see here, right? So it's just like getting out Chuck, because she is the annoying bit of this team. Echo and Arc, they aren't really a threat in this team, at least in freeze. I think they can take out characters, but especially considering that they are assists, Padme is just, yeah, a natural counter, because any assist will grant you protection up, and then, yeah, it's easy to survive these attacks, unless they're monsterly modded and you're going in with like G12 characters or something. So 54 banners there, that was okay. Then I think maybe the toughest team that was left was Aiden. So I used Treyer and hoped she would survive, or like they don't kill anyone, because right now my Civ 2 is a little bit like, yeah, I wouldn't say poorly modded, but like not optimally, is that a word? I don't know, modded, because I used like the optimal mods in different places, and they're kind of modded, yeah. Sounds weird, but more as a Lord Vader counter in 5s, so, and I didn't switch the mods. But for a Lord Vader counter, I'm missing a relic level on Scion. He's just relic, just quote unquote relic 8. And as you can see, Treya is modded for offense, which makes her a little bit vulnerable in freeze to attacks from very high offense troopers. Because Aiden, again, like, she boosts the offense of troopers, so that's always something you have to keep in mind. But what went well. Then I took my strongest team, I guess, which I had left on offense, versus this annoying team with Boba and yeah, Scoundrel. Like, it's an interesting team, but Boba is the main threat. So I took in Starkiller because with Vader, because Vader just grants midi assists with Merciless Massacre, so it was easy to take out Boba. If there's one thing about Boba that's a little bit like, yeah, suboptimal, it's that he is quite frail, so you can take him out quite easily, and so like a basic from Vader, decently modded, and then an assist from Starkiller, offense modded, is enough to take him out. So, and then, yeah, this team is really a threat, and you get your ultimate and get 57 banners. But it was an overkill again. You know, we don't have to use this team to take this out. I just had it available. So, then versus this Newt Django team, I just used Jedi, Best Elite in this case, just for some protection up and speed bonuses, but no other reason than that. And yeah, potentially being not so exposed to this I forgot the name, it just slips my mind, from the thing that Newt does, extortion, because you know, you get health damage, and when you have bonus protection it doesn't matter that much, and so the hope was they won't get through my bonus protection throughout the fight, which it helps to stun Django before he gets a turn, and then he's available for being damaged, and that's what I did. So I focused on him first, trying to get him out, which happened almost here, but now it's there, and so then I can take out Newt without any problem, without any distractions. And I think the new team, it lost a little bit like its value on defense, but it's still a good defensive team. If you don't have the right tunes, it will make your life a living horror. But yeah, I had the right tunes in this case, so it was fine. Then I still had Maul, and I was like, oh, what do I with Maul? I want to use him, so I just like, hey, so let's use this Phrygian team just with Maul, because then allows me to be faster than Dash. He was 370-ish after his lead, and my Gideon is 380, so it was like, should work that I get Frenzy, And then let's see what happens. Just kill Vendor first, and then essentially keep Kara under control with Fracture and let Maul do his thing. Getting back to 5 stacks here. Can swap turns, recover protection. But I was a little bit lazy here, so I swapped to Maul and just like went out all on Kara and ended the fight for 55 banners. Just a stupid counter, right? And then the last team that was left was GG with Droidica. I also had JKL left, funny enough, so I was like, what do I do with that? I could potentially use more Mothma here. Droidica isn't that much of a threat against Mon Mothma, but I also could use Night Sisters, or I just use JKL with those two ladies, and that's what I did. And yeah, I don't think it's like a common counter for not sure, it isn't really overkill, but it's also not like a cheap counter. Of course not, because there's JKL and Wolf and like Shark and Varys. It's just again a stupid counter. But yeah, was okay. I think the most annoying thing is like all the dodges from Droidica, and just here making the mistake instead of killing GG. I'm just like allowing it to take a turn and stealing 1 banner from me. So that were the ground battles, no fail there, so that was good. And then went into fleets, and there was a Raiders, a Malevolence, and an Executor. So I started with Rebels against Raiders, which usually is a very straightforward counter, very simple, if you focus on the right chips. And here I just got stuck on this bomber. I was like, let's focus on the bomber, what can happen? And I think it can go downhill. As you can see, our friend Ray in her Falcon always took out like 2 of my ships, at least put them into yellow. I think if you like really push hard on relic levels, this ship is like just a nightmare. Lucky enough, most people don't do that, and I'm thankful for that. So my ships were still there. I could get my gameplay rolling, and brought in Cassian. And once Cassian is in, and usually it's the only reinforcement I need, or I really need with like with Rebels, because then you can dispel if you have, or like cleanse debuffs, can also dispel and do all the fun stuff, and just take out the fleet. Then I used Negotiator against Malevolence. Again, like a counter that I don't really practice often, so I just play as I think, without really knowing all the kit details of the, or like the interactions of this fight. I just like, there are ships, I take them out. So I press buttons that allow me to do that, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I'm really not passionate about those 2 fleets, because it took me a long time to get them, because I wasn't hoarding hard get to stuff. And once I had them, I didn't need them anymore, kind of, because I was building up a Rebel fleet and my Finalizer fleet in the meantime, and so I felt like, I'm quite okay without those. It's nice to have them, of course, right? So especially Negotiator, but yeah, I don't know. I guess a lot of people just like roll their eyes when they see me playing this, but you're welcome. Enjoy the shit show. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, enjoy the show. Yeah, almost taking out Hyena Bomber. Then there was, of course, Spy left, who went to the stealth, and I mean, it was attacking him directly, but yeah, then ultimate, and so okay, there are like 2 bombs, 3 bombs on Spy. It doesn't matter what happens next, he will be taken out by the bombs, and that happened, not now, but soon, exactly now, and so this fight was over. And then I went to the last fleet battle, and here like I had a total like hiccup in my brain, because I was I slipped my mind that this is just like a very offensive lineup from Executor, and so I was like going in with Finalizer. I was like, which one? How does it work? So I tried to stun So it didn't open up with Hunted, but tried to stun IG 2000 to not be stunned by it. But then, of course, with the Mass Assist, just Echelon is like taken out because there is nothing that can withstand this this offensive barrage. And then next, my engine was gone, the command shuttle. But Finalizer was hanging on, so Relic 9 on crew paid off because I could take out IG 2000. And that was the only goal I had after realizing this, that I potentially took in the wrong fleet to counter this fleet. But then it's also interesting to see what happens, right? If you face different lineups of the Executor fleet to see what can Finalizer do and what can't it do. And so this is one, I think this can count as a fail. But still, like, we're in cleanup territory. We have one ship taken out. We have more specials on cooldown. So yeah, let's take in like a cheap cleanup fleet like Executor and finish this thing. And basically now it's a mirror, yeah, right? So the offensive lineup is gone. One reinforcement is already gone. So I could focus just like on Xanadu immediately, take it out, then focus on getting my contract. And they were just, yeah, because on cooldowns there was nothing much the Executor fleet could do. So this is like, again, like the 2-shot is the new 1-shot, but using the 1-shot fleet for that. So yeah, bit of a stupid thing, but I felt okay because at that point in time my opponent dropped 2 battles already, had to clean up my front, like all my walls still, and I had 1-shot everything and only 1 fail, and didn't lose too many banners, so I felt comfortable with losing one match here, like, or 1 battle here, just like overall, then still winning on efficiency. But yeah, so, and I think this fight is pretty much under control. Taken out all the ships except Houndstooth, and I'm close to my ultimate as well, so nothing much could happen here anymore. So, like, still 3 turns, but even if the other Executor would have gotten to the ultimate at some point with 1 ship against 4 ships, there's not much Houndstooth can do. For that, the offensive capabilities are just too limited. Here's my ultimate, so can now focus on taking down Houndstooth, which is always a fun ride, as you've seen like some videos ago with like had to play auto with a leftover fleet just to get this 1 ship down. It's so annoying. Yeah, but eventually it happened, and I won this battle, like this fleet battle, and also won the match. Spoiler, because the sad thing is my opponent didn't attack afterwards. I think they were just like burned out or something, or didn't feel like attacking. And yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, thanks for the match still, and thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.